There we are. Okie dokie. Yep, I think we are. It's setting up, but we're probably live, so I'll assume we're live. Okay, there we go. I see it. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Expert Interview Series. I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited today because we have something a little different for you. And so, yeah, this is going to be really fun. So the Expert Interview Series was born because I wanted to bring on guests that could give you little bite-sized pieces of little fast action steps that you can implement and get a result immediately in your business. And so each expert I have comes on and has like a different amazing strategy or tip or tool that you can use. And so if you haven't checked this out before, go ahead and check out the videos in the video tab and let us know where you're from. Where are you listening from? Whether you're live or whether you are watching the replay, let us know where you're from and what's going on. And then ask your questions, comment, ask your questions while we're doing this. And we will get back to you after the show ends. So we can just keep on track. I get distracted. And here comes my kitty. She's always part of the show, and there's good energy. So anyway, so what we're, let's see, what was I going to say? If you could like my page, I would love that. And if you want to give us some hearts or some thumbs up or anything like that, that would be awesome too. And then, spread the love, share the love when we're done. That would be very cool. So we're going to get started. My name's Lisa Mizels, and I'm your host. And I started this expert interview series probably at the end of 2017, kind of as a test. And it's really grown, and I love it. And I love to interview. I also have the internationally acclaimed Empowered Living Show, and I do lots of things for online visibility for my clients. So it's super fun. Love doing this. And without further ado, I want to introduce my guest, Teal Thompson. Teal, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. So happy to be on with you today.
Yeah, this is great. Well, Teal and I had a chance to kind of meet, and she took me through some of her processes, and you guys are going to be amazed. This is going to be so fun. You're going to love it. So she's going to be talking about how to direct attention to create a life you love. And she's going to be going through some exercises so you actually get to see the process and do it yourself. So this is going to be really great. And let me just tell you a little bit about Teal before we jump in. Teal Thompson has been teaching the Avatar course for more than 20 years. Avatar is an international self-empowerment program that teaches you how to create your life deliberately. The course is taught in more than 75 countries globally and has been translated into more than 25 languages. Teal teaches all over the US and Latin America in English and Spanish. She's passionate about helping people achieve their goals and dreams and increasing the amount of compassion, personal responsibility, and service to others in the world by guiding people through the Avatar course. As an entrepreneur, Teal has used the Avatar tools to create everything from having her songs as a singer. Didn't know you were a singer.
Yes.
A songwriter, a guitarist, featured on the Warner Brothers and Paramount Pictures TV shows.
Yes.
And tracks. Oh my gosh, amazing. So she helped to launch the Austin City Limits Live at the Moody Theater, which was a $40 million concert venue in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
The executive producer of the in-house production company to helping a band and launching the Live Strong campaign for that to global success, and consulting with Fortune 500 companies on strategies to grow their business to the next level. Oh my gosh. We have a star on the show. Welcome.
It's so exciting to be here. We're all stars in our own right,
We are all stars. We are all stars. And so you're going to be talking a little bit about this amazing course that you have. But first, before we jump in, tell us a little bit about how you even started with the Avatar course. What got you interested in that, and how did that get you where you are today?
It's such a good question. So first of all, I was in my early 20s when I did Avatar. And I have a friend who's a lifelong friend. Our moms have known each other since elementary school, actually. And he was coming to town from out of town to Austin, where I was in college at the time. And let's go get a movie. So I'm standing on the curb of this parking lot at nighttime, waiting for him to get out of his car. His name is Teak. And from hundreds of feet from across a parking lot at nighttime, he was glowing. And there was this peace that I felt in him that I had never felt before. And so when he walked up to me, I was like, you start talking right now. What did you do? Because I could feel it. You know, you can just feel when someone's made such a major change in their life. And I loved the feel of it. I could feel what the result of the tools was for him. So for him, he actually had been engaged to someone and they mutually broke off their engagement before they were married, but that was something very important to him at the time. He met his wife to this day, 7 days after his Avatar course. They were engaged 2 weeks later, and now they have a 20-year-old at the University of Texas and are super happily married. And he really, freed up what was in his consciousness to attract the right person to him. He's also an incredible artist, and his art had been on the back burner because he was running a family business. And next thing I knew, he had started an art walk in his town. He, left and right, people were calling him for art commissions. And everything we had literally been talking about for years, he created within 1 month of his Avatar course.
Wow.
And I was like, I will be having what you're having. So I was on the course 11 days later. And it's a 9-day course. And I was like, when's the next one? Where in the world? Just get me there. Wow. So for me, it was the same. I was a singer, songwriter, guitarist at the time, as you just found out.
Yeah.
And
so cool.
Totally my heart, my passion of really communicating in that way and, opening people's hearts with music. And I just love it. So, but I had written about 80 incomplete songs in the 2 months before my course. I was like prolific and blocked all at the same time. And I was a voice major here at the University of Texas in Austin and was discouraged. I was playing, open mic nights in coffee shops. And same thing for me is that I really use the tools to look at my limiting beliefs about, there's so many beliefs about being a starving artist or having to be in the right place at the right time, or you have to pay your dues, or all of these kinds of beliefs that we take on societally in any area of our life, really. And I had taken on a lot of really limiting beliefs. So as I was able to explore my consciousness and recognize what I was choosing to believe and what I wanted to let go of, I went from the 9-day course, hopped on a plane to LA to visit my best friend, wrote 4 songs in the first few days, started laying down basic tracks with a producer friend. He flew back to Austin. We finished 5 songs total with all the hottest musicians in town.
Oh my God.
And on his plane ride back, he sat next to artists. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so fun. So he sat next to an artist representative from Los Angeles who fell in love with my music and started shopping my songs to 9 major record labels. And that was in my early 20s, and the reason that I teach this course to this day is that for the next year and a half, all of my friends and people in my world were like, you're so lucky, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And I'm like, it's not luck. We all have this power and ability when we're empowered with practical daily life tools that we can really use to align our consciousness with what we want to achieve. And the person who created Avatar, his name is Harry Palmer. And he created it in 1987, and he's got this beautiful quote that says, each moment that you're happy is a gift to the rest of the world. Yeah. And I think sometimes we say that, we just go, oh yeah, I know it's important to be happy. But it's actually really important to be happy and to be fulfilled. And that affects the people around us. So the happier, more successful, more at peace we are, more fulfilled, living juicy lives, creating what we really most want to create. It's important.
Yeah, that's so great. I mean, I see this theme about this ripple effect that's happening with so many people, and I just love it because the work I do too is like I heal my clients through marketing, through the work I do, through finding their ideal
Yes.
client. And they in turn have to, in order to teach their clients what they need to know, they have to heal, and then their clients do. And it's like this big, huge ripple effect of, making positive change in the world, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love that you do that. That's such a beautiful contribution.
Yeah, I just, and all my clients too, that's what they're doing, and that's what you're doing, and that's what all the people that go to Avatar course are doing. And so if we can spread the message, and and they're simple. When you say daily, well, there's two things that came up when you were talking. The first one was 9 days. I could never get away for 9 days. And then
Yeah.
that's a limiting belief, right?
Yeah, right.
And then
well, we have weekend workshops to start too for people in your particular mindset. We also have a 2-day workshop called Resurfacing, which is phenomenal, and many people around the world start with 2 days, and then it actually creates the space that people all of a sudden can start to see the possibility for how to create coming for 9.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like a baby step towards opening up, being able to open up to the bigger allowing, receiving. Oh, that's great. I love it. And I loved our time together too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, you want to share your strategy, your secrets on how to get instant results? Because I know they're fantastic.
Yeah. So I wanted to share today the first exercise that I would love to do with everyone. You're going to need a pen and a piece of paper, or pull out your phone. You can use the notes section on your phone or your computer, however you want to write something down. And we have what's called the 3 life inventory. And this actually comes from a video by Harry Palmer, who created the Avatar course. And I love this 3 life inventory. It's basic, but it's also really interesting to explore. So the first question is, what do you want? And write down today at least one thing that is really important for you to create, like something that would so light you up, would definitely bring you joy. You can write down more than one, but write down at least one thing in your life, present, today, here, now, something that you really want to create. And sometimes it can be a beingness goal. It could be something like a quality that you're wanting to develop, or sometimes it's something you're actually wanting to create in the physical universe, like an actual manifestation of something. So whatever comes up for you is perfect. Okay. The second question, which you can write down as well, is what would you have to become to get that? And I'll repeat that. What would you have to become to get that? So sometimes in life we're being a certain identity, and we actually need to become something else in order to create something new. And then the last question, the third question is your attitude towards that goal working for you or against you? Again, the question is your attitude towards that goal working for you or against you? And that could be a yes or no answer. It could also be a little bit more in depth of realizing that your attitude is a little bit more than what we think it is sometimes. So it could be what you notice about that. Take another moment or two to write down, is your attitude towards that goal working for you or against you? Okay, so I always love to find out what's actually happening over there. So Lisa, how was that for you? What did
That
you discover? What did you notice?
I love that. I love that because it's very simple and easy, but very insightful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wrote down that I want to do transformational retreats to um, just increase our capacity for joy and fulfillment.
Yeah.
Um, to create that ripple effect. And then I wrote, what would I have to become? I already am. I mean, that's the realization that I already am
Right.
what I want to become. I just need to start. I need to set a date.
Fantastic.
That's all. And then is your attitude towards that goal working? No, it's working against me. And it's fear and hesitation. Like, what is it going to take? Is it going to be this massive, huge, big thing that I have to struggle with is kind of the fear, I think. Yeah, the struggle, the working hard.
I think that's interesting what you just said is, so our attitudes are really interesting because I think in life now, these days, people have some awareness of what they're believing, just in general, as in the world. People are like, oh, my beliefs. And we forget sometimes, beliefs are attitudes, attitudes are beliefs.
Yeah.
So when you say that belief out loud, that, oh my gosh, it might be daunting on some level, or what did you say? It could be too much work, or
Yeah, just a lot of like hard work. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what's so interesting is that when you were talking about your attention on these retreats that you want to create, I so feel your joy, your passion, that you're really excited to create it. And then when you say the piece with the attitude, what happens is so interesting because so oftentimes we think, oh, all my attention's on my goal. But where our attention actually is on the obstacle or the fear or the thing that's in the way. So many times people think, oh my gosh, no, I've got all my attention on my goal, but their attention's on what they don't want to create rather than what they do want to create, because it sounds like in the process of creating these retreats that there's an element for you that you actually would want them to feel like they're in the flow, that there's an ease with them. It's not to say that you don't have to do any work at all, but you don't want it to feel like hard work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I get the difference with that.
Yeah. I think that's my fear. It's like if I take this on, if I do set a date, it means a whole momentum of things. So that was good. Thank you. Love that.
You're so welcome.
Love that. Yeah.
So speaking of attention, I feel like one of the things that I really wanted to share, especially with our listeners today and your particular audience and the people that you attract and that you speak to, is the importance of directing our attention. Because the more we're able to direct our attention deliberately. So again, like I just said, sometimes we think, oh my gosh, all my attention's on my goal, but our attention's actually on maybe it won't work out, or it's going to be too much work, or it's actually on the thing that we're not wanting to create, rather than fully focusing all of our attention on what we're wanting to create. So I'd love to guide our audience today as well on an attention exercise.
Yes.
And this is a fun one because you get to start to learn about your own attention and how it behaves. And this is from our introduction to Avatar, and it's called Sticky Attention. And the objective is to explore the behavior of your own attention. And the expected results are insights and some recovery of self-determinism. So on this one, the instructions are, for 1 minute, you're going to close your eyes and review the events of the past week and notice how your attention lingers on certain things. So I'm going to time everyone. And right now, everyone can close their eyes and review the events of the past week in your mind's eye. It's not an out loud thing. And just notice how your attention lingers on certain things. So go ahead and begin. Okay, that's a minute. And so here are the self-examination questions that go with that exercise. So the first question is, was there some accomplishment, challenge, or negative emotion, anger, fear, or grief connected with the memories that you lingered on the longest? So you're welcome to just silently say that to yourself or write down your answers as you like.
Can you repeat that one more time?
You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. So was there some accomplishment, challenge, or negative emotion, anger, fear, or grief connected with the memories that you lingered on the longest? So we'll answer that first and then I'll ask the second question. So for you?
For me, I think it was kind of half and half. I mean, at first, like I have been sick this last week, so it was kind of like, feeling sick, and then there was a funeral that I went to, and then I went to, I think I spent most of my time. It's so beautiful here right now that the wildflowers are out, and it's just, I've been spending time outside just being and on rocks, chairs, just out, my dogs, whatever. It's just beautiful. And so that's what I spent. It was like I could spend all my time here. This feels good. So yeah. That's what I spent my time on.
Okay, beautiful. So then the second question is, what effect, if any, do the lingering memories have on your present sense of ambition or motivation? And I'll repeat that question. What effect, if any, do the lingering memories have on your present sense of ambition or motivation?
Interesting.
Yeah, so what do you notice?
Well, I noticed that the lingering memories of just being, that's really, that's probably where I spent more than half my time, is just being.
Yeah.
It's just joy energy. So there's really no motivation or ambition. There's
interesting.
None. I don't know how to interpret that, but there was nothing.
Yeah. And for the other pieces, was there any effect on your ambition or motivation?
Let me think. Let's see this.
Like when you said that your attention went to being sick or going to the funeral. Yeah. And it says what effect, if any. Maybe it didn't have an effect, but it's interesting to explore if there was one.
Right. My ambition or motivation. I'm trying to think. Of course, if I'm sick, it's going to affect my motivation, and not my ambition so much, but my motivation, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what it says on the next, the exercise that I was just reading from, what it says on the next slide of the intro, it says that the avatar attention exercises enable you to create free attention and develop the skills to direct your attention deliberately. So when you're talking about that joyous state, that sort of free state, we're not stuck on anything. We're just fully in the present moment with appreciation. We're experiencing life and all of what's around us. And it's quite an amazing experience. So, sometimes we actually can't go out in nature at a certain moment of the day, or we're working, or we're picking kids up from school, or we're doing whatever we're doing. So it's really awesome to be able to have the ability to create free attention no matter what circumstance you're in your life.
Yeah.
Because we can't always get to a yoga class in the middle of the day, or we can't always, skip out of whatever it is that we're doing. So to be able to start to direct our attention to where we want it to go, it starts to create more and more free attention where we can just be in this, grounded but expanded space, be fully present and connected, but directing our lives, especially as entrepreneurs. I know that you work a lot with entrepreneurs from all over the world, it sounds like. And I feel like as entrepreneurs, there's so much opportunity to be distracted and bombarded and to feel overwhelmed. We've got emails coming in, people coming in from, new client requests, text messages, LinkedIn messages. There's about 1 million places we could put our attention on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So if we're not actually directing our attention deliberately, life can start to feel a bit out of our control. And we can feel more overwhelmed. We can feel dissatisfied because we don't feel like, gosh, I got to the end of my day and I did all of this, but it wasn't really what I set out to do.
I want those days.
Yeah, I have too. But having the tools to be able to get back on track, that's one of the things I think I love most about teaching the Avatar course. It's never about becoming perfect.
Right.
It's about having tools to create and live your life deliberately. So we're all human beings having our human experience, and we have all kinds of things, some days that we feel better than others, but having the tools to be able to go, wait a minute, I got a call this morning that was so interesting, and it was something that threw me off a little bit, and I had 4 meetings after that. And for me to be able to go, okay, that was that experience. It's not where I want to put my attention right now, because my very first meeting, it was, I was seeing a friend of mine I haven't seen in 5 years, who was in from Dallas. He was visiting from Dallas for meetings himself. And I really wanted to be fully present with him. Now, I could have put all of my attention on this call that had happened in the 15 minutes driving over to that meeting, but I was able to use my will to bring my attention back to what was really important to me in the moment, which was to reconnect with him, to find out what was happening in his life and what was important to him. Right. And had I not had those skills to be able to manage my attention, I might have been off to the races in this other thing that was a little bit upsetting right before I landed it in my very first meeting of the day.
Yeah, just kind of that would throw you off. So being able to be centered, that's, when I used to work, I commuted a lot, and the commute time was my get present time. And, like people have morning routines or daily routines, and if they get messed up, it kind of like gets you out of whack. And so these tools that you have can bring you back more quickly to center.
Yes, and even the 3 life inventory that we did, you could even set your day by really going, what do I want, on a given day? And if we set our intention for our day as well, then we have a clear purpose line to make all of our decisions from and to take action from. Whereas if we don't really know what we're going for, I think there's a saying, any road will get you there.
Right. Yeah, it's so important. And, we talk about setting intentions for the day, but I love this question. This is a great question. These 3 questions are amazing. So, yes, so I hope everybody that's listening, whether you're here live or to the replay, can take these, rewind it and take these questions down and really do this yourself and see what comes up for you. And I know, Teal, do you have some exciting things coming up that you want to share?
Really exciting things. Yes, we actually, so I live in Austin, Texas, but we have our first 9-day course here in 10 years. We haven't had one here in 10 years, coming up May 19th through the 27th. And people are welcome to come in from anywhere to attend. So if you want to know more about that or the next thing that I'm about to say, you can go to my website, tealthompson.com.
And I'll post that in the comments so everybody can just, have that.
And that'll be a smaller course. We're limiting it to a certain amount of people. We've got an incredible home in the middle of town. That's a super beautiful neighborhood for all of our walking meditative exercises outside, and beautiful space we're exploring in. So it's going to be just an awesome retreat. You're welcome to come in for the first 2 days of the course, which is called resurfacing, or come in and attend the 9-day course. And then we have our largest international avatar course of the year, where the whole world comes together. We usually have about 1,000 people between the avatar masters. An avatar master is someone who's licensed and trained to teach the avatar course, and students, and people literally fly in from all over the world to attend. So the course is taught in 75 countries, and that is July 7th through the 15th. And it'll be in Orlando, Florida. And people bring their children to attend the course with them. Kids come from around the world because they're all off school. So, we have 4-year-olds to 95-year-olds from pretty much every background. So there's a lot of ways to get started. And I am always so happy to do what we did together via video chatting, is to do the complimentary introduction, which takes about 45 minutes. And you can just book straight online on my website, tealthompson.com, and there's a book online tab. Or if you just want to schedule a call, that's another great way to find out about the course. And I think the one last thing I just want to share is that there's also a really amazing set of books that we have in Avatar that you can also get those off of my website.
Do that.
And they're amazing because even reading the books will start to move you forward in your life. So I think that reading the books, I can point you to some specific readings and a couple of exercises to do, is another great place for people to begin.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I highly recommend, if this interests you, and I'm sure it does, because, people watching this are my people, right? They're interested in this kind of stuff. So I highly recommend you book a call with Teal. She takes you through some exercises, and it's really amazing. It is really amazing. I need to get those books. Yes, I do. And what was I going to, I was going to ask you one more thing, because I know when I was talking to you, this was my question, and it might be a question for other people. What does avatar mean? Why is it named Avatar?
It's a great question. So it's actually a Sanskrit word that's thousands of years old. And it means a person who, right at the moment of when they're about to transition from this lifetime into the next lifetime, instead of seeking enlightenment for themselves, they actually turn back to the world to help other people. And so it's interesting now, Avatar, the word, has gone through so many different iterations, and people think of Avatar the movie and they think about Avatar, even just the avatar, my avatar, what's your ideal avatar client? But it's really that essence of really coming back and slipping back into a form, into a being, and reincarnating to really help and be of service to other people. So that's the original Sanskrit version of where it all began.
I love that. So powerful.
And because it's the tagline is not really the right word, but the essence of Avatar is all about loving precious humanity. And so it's that sense of being here to help. I mean, I have no greater joy than helping other people move forward in their lives and to create really what they came here to contribute. And I think that as people are able to contribute their gifts and talents to the world at the level that they want to, I mean, whether that's becoming a more patient mother, or whether that's, being a more loving partner, or being at more peace, or it's a project that you want to bring to the world, or it's who you're being in your business, having that alignment with ourselves and our natural gifts and talents, and being able to be so on fire with that, like our essence, who we are, and contributing that to making the world a better place, we truly do make an impact together when we do that.
Yes, you're speaking my language. I love it. Thank you so much for this. This has been fantastic. And I know
Thank you
that,
so much.
yeah, thank you. And thank you listeners, viewers for being here and watching and spreading that ripple out to the world with what you're doing. So, this is
Yes.
good. This is good stuff. Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to say that we missed?
I actually just want to say something to the listeners as well, is that, you matter, your life matters. And so if you feel really inspired to take charge of your life and take it all to the next level, please get in touch with us. And also, like Lisa said earlier, please leave your comments, questions. We're happy to address any of them after. And I appreciate everyone who's tuned in today. And I also just appreciate you so much for all that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we all have a place in this world. We all have our unique gifts to bring, and doing what you love, being in joy, just spreads the energy, right? I just love that. I love that. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And thank you, listeners. And I will see you on Friday for the next expert interview at 12 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. And my kitty will probably be here as well. So hang on. And I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next time.